All right, welcome back to another video. If you're back watching me, that means you like what I said. I'm glad you're here. I'm the guy you need to hear from, the guy you need to see, or else you wouldn't be seeing this video on your feed. So we're gonna jump right into it. I want to start today's video off by saying isolation can either make you or it can break you. What does that mean, Cortez? What I mean by that is when you start to get more successful in life, as you're doing better in life, people are gonna start to remove themselves from your life. You're gonna remove people from your life, and some people are just gonna fall off the edge like they were never really there. So there's going to be times where there's going to be nobody on your side, nobody on your team, nobody backing you, nobody talking to you, nobody communicating, nobody asking you for anything, nobody giving you support, advice, or trying to coach you and guide you in the right direction. People don't like to see other people shine. It's the crab in the bucket mentality. They see one person doing good, they try to pull them back in. But isolation isn't always a bad thing. In my experience and what I've heard from other people and what I know is that anytime you're in isolation of any form, it's a test you're going through. If you come out on the other side, you're going to come out stronger, better, and ready to take on even more challenges and the difficulties of life. But if you don't make it out and you let it break you, you can be succumb to depression, suicidal thoughts. And I'm not trying to get that deep, but I can really get like that. It's a mental game. Being alone tests your mind, body, and your soul. Can you be alone with your thoughts? Are you able to take that? Some people are not. Genuinely, some people can't for medical reasons. Some people just can't because they're mentally weak. But that's what the periods of isolation teach you. When you go in, you're supposed to come out stronger. You're supposed to come out learning something. You're supposed to learn more about yourself. When you're in isolation, it gives you time to be alone. You will not always have people on your side, especially on the road to success. The journey is lonely. When you get to the top, everybody wants to be your friend, but the road there is one you must walk by yourself. The best part about it is nobody else can steer you. With you being alone, no one else can really take your shine or take what you work for or take what you've earned. It's all yours, and it's going to be your pathway to success. Whatever that path may be, it's yours, and you walk it alone. Isolation should only equal growth to you. Whenever you feel like nobody wants to hang out with me, I don't have anybody to hang out with, I always have nothing to do by myself. I go to work, I go home, I go to work, I go to the gym, I eat, I sleep, I do it all over again. Those periods are some of the greatest times for phenomenal exponential growth in every aspect of your life. You can either sit there and whine about it, complain about it, be a little bitch, and be mad that nobody wants to hang out with you, or be mad that you don't have any friends that are available to hang out with you. It's a good thing. You've gotten yourself to a point, you worked yourself to a point where you have the resources, the freedom to have more time. That's the goal. Time is what's valuable, not the money. The money buys back your time. So you have the time and the freedom to do whatever you want. So you should already give yourself credit for that. And the fact that nobody else can do it with you shows you where you really are on the hierarchy of the people in your life. And once I started looking at it from that perspective, I stopped caring so much about being alone. But I knew deep down inside that me being alone and only having the freedom that nobody else has, that nobody else can hang out with me, nobody else can go out with me or spend the money I spend or do what I do on the consistent basis that I do, just shows what level I am compared to them as far as success, growth, financial freedom, time freedom, mental freedom. And I think everybody should start to look at being alone in this way, because if you look at it this way, you see the test every time. Once you get alone, you're like, oh, okay, I know exactly what this is. I need to learn something. I need to grow. If I come out on the other side, I'm going to be even stronger. I'm going to get into another area of my life. Every time you feel isolated, tell yourself that. Train your mind to look at isolation as a gauntlet. Don't let it break you. Don't be a victim. It's like playing a game. Level 1, level 2, level 3, waves of... You guys have played games where they don't end until you die, man. You know, you go through waves. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. You continue to go, and each wave gets harder. That's exactly what life is. Think of the periods of isolation as another wave of challenges on your mind, on your body, on your soul. Can you be alone? Can you be alone with your thoughts? If not, you will find out during your period of isolation, you will mentally break. You will lose it. But the people that become successful in life always make it through. Always make it through the periods of isolation. Always make it through the test. Always beat the boss. So don't be afraid of isolation. I think you should actually embrace it. I think I actually have a post on my Instagram. I think the caption is like, embrace the isolation, silence the noise, and execute, because that's really what it breaks down to, those 3 steps. You embrace the isolation, you realize, okay, hey, I'm alone. Like I said in my last video, the first step is always just becoming aware of the problem. But this isn't really a problem. Be aware that you are isolated. Embrace it. Silence all the other noise, all the BS, anything that's not aligned with your goals, anything that can hinder you, that can hurt you, that can take you off of your pathway, your journey, your road to success. And execute. That's it. In isolation, you should be constantly in your own thoughts, learning to block out the stuff in your head that doesn't matter, that's irrelevant, and pinpoint what it is this period of isolation is trying to teach you about yourself. Because with you being alone, you're not learning about anybody else but yourself. You may think you know yourself, and you do to an extent, but there's so much more that you don't know, so much more in the mind, so much more potential that you have that you haven't unlocked because you haven't been open to it, you haven't thought about it. So when you get in these periods of isolation, that's the time you need to see what area of your life you need to grow in. Don't let it break you. Embrace the isolation, silence the noise, and execute.